Another baby image. I took this while we're on holiday at the beach, and every morning I'd wake up and see Art's sweet little face looking at me with light falling across his face like this, and I just wanted to capture it, that morning glow. Um, but I did get a little bit of a hand doing that, and we'll go over that. Okay, first things first though. This image you can see here, he's actually got a bit of a blowout around the side here from the light not quite being diffused enough. So we might need to work on that, or I could leave it. We'll just see once I'm in there. I can't exactly remember what I did to this file, so we'll just start again. So I'm going to lighten up his face to begin with and add a little bit of blue. And on his clothing there. Okay, so that's much bluer. Okay, and overall now I'm going to warm up the entire image. So I can go back to this one and make that much bluer and much lighter. Okay, along the edges there. Okay, I still want it to look natural on his hand as well. Now if you do change the skin tone, make sure that you work on the other areas of their skin too. So often I see cool faces and warm hands or legs. Okay, so there we go. I think that works better. Now what I'd like to do is get a new brush, and I'm just going to add in a little bit of warmth back here. I'd actually prefer that to be more green yellow than red yellow. So I'm just painting that in. And raise that up a bit. Okay. Okay, now actually I might make his shirt less blue after all, just so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. Okay, and a new brush again, and I'm going to desaturate the bedding a little. This is being particular, it doesn't really matter either way. And once I've done that, I'll give it a little crop. Okay, so I'm going to crop that, and I'm going to use a 5:7 aspect. Okay. Actually, I might just crop that in a touch more. Right, so now I'm going to take that into Photoshop, and I'll see you in there. Okay, so I've actually pulled up the file that I originally did, and here it is. So I've actually cropped it in more than I originally had. However, everything else is basically the same. So, I don't know, just out of interest, we might go back and recrop that. What do you think? Just to match it. So I'll go back into Lightroom, and here we are in Lightroom. So instead of that crop, I might go to a shot. So that's what it looked like it was, and just resize that down a little. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take that into Photoshop. Okay, so here's the one that was finished, and here's the one that I just opened up. So it's very similar. So as you can see, most of this was actually done in Lightroom. So now all I need to do is enhance the glow. This one has a little bit of a glow here, and I'm just going to have a little bit of fun with that with you. There's so many different ways that you can do this, but this is just one way to do it. And you can also use this technique for bringing in rays of light in any way, in any place. So if you're in a forest or anywhere that you want to add rays of light. So layer, new layer. And I'm going to add grab the poly tool. Now when you're doing rays of light, make sure that you're actually working in the way that the sun is going. So obviously the sun is streaming in across here. So all I'm going to do is keep that in mind bring in rays of light as if that was happening. So there's one. Now I press shift. Okay. So I have to press shift. I nearly forgot. And let's do the third one, and this one's going to hit his face. So I'm just going to gently go around his face because I don't really actually want to add to that highlight blowout. Okay, and let's make that go to here and join there. Okay, so I've got 3 rays. Now you could have as many as you want, but I've kept them kind of large to match the way that the light actually had coming through skylights here on the veranda. Okay, so they were kind of rather large spaces. So if you do have light rays coming in, make sure that you try and match the direction and also where the light is coming in. Are they going to be big rays or very small rays? So if there's lots of dappled light, then they're probably going to be small rays. Okay, whereas if it's one big window, then it's probably going to be one big ray. If it's a window with lots of different slats in it, smaller rays. I'm sure I make sense. Okay, so now I'm going to do a fill. I might just do it this way. Edit fill. And we might make it a white color. Just bear with me. So I might as well just do a foreground. So I'll make it white. Or maybe even slightly warm. Just very slightly. Slightly off-white. Edit, fill, foreground color. Okay, so now what I need to do is blur that. Okay, so I'm going to take that off and filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, select all. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, that's better. Okay, so as you can see, it's just blurring that out. Now you can have that as blurry as you want or not at all, it's up to you. Now you can also make this a soft light layer, which takes most of it away, which is what I did. You can also add in more rays to make the middle bit even stronger if you wanted that. Or if it's not strong enough, you could just duplicate the layer and all of a sudden you've got a stronger aspect there. So I've duplicated that layer and I'm going to grab a black brush on a mask and I'm just going to mask that off here. I'm not happy with the way that it landed there, but over here I'm happy with that. I think I like that glow added. Okay. And the rays before that too, I'm going to put a mask on that and erase off his face here too. Actually, I went a little bit overboard there, so I'll grab a white brush and just get a smaller brush and bring that back there. Okay, so now I'd just like to add some saturation in, and I'm going to do a big saturation. Okay, so that's 15. However, I don't want that saturation on these bars here, or the wood doors, wooden slats. So I'm just going to erase that off. I'm not interested in highlighting those out. Okay, so now I'm just going to zoom in to his skin at 100%. Now, I actually don't mind this so much, I guess, but ideally you don't want this kind of blowout. You want it to be, I guess, have some detail in there. Here. But you know, I think it's fine simply because it matches all the other areas here. Honestly, for me, his skin is quite soft there, and I'm happy to leave it as is. I'm careful with that. It's personal taste though. So for babies, they've got beautiful soft skin. I think we can relax a little on that personally. So I'm happy with that photo. Let's go back to the original. So all it was really was enhancing that glow that was coming in just for fun and bringing the yellow light in with using the white balance in Lightroom. And that's really enhanced that photo enough for me. All right, I hope you enjoyed that.